a few days before and say, hey, we have an opening at 10:30. So we have to be in the car at 10 to get there. So thus the Facebook Live from the car this morning. So I hope everybody is having a good morning. And obviously, I think it was a very, for some people, I think it was a very, very hard weekend. I know the Kobe Bryant thing is just so touching and so challenging. And I think if you're a parent, obviously you think about your child. If you're a spouse, you think about, and a parent, you think about losing your and then you hear this. Hi, Adrian, I'm doing a Facebook Live. Say hello.
Hi.
We see your little face. We see your little face. Anyway, so I think that if you're a spouse, you think about your
Mom.
Yes.
I can't see
What?
the camera.
Do you need to see the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're gonna let you actually watch something.
We are.
Yeah. We're going to have, since I do need to do this Facebook Live, Adrian's going to get the little treat of getting to watch a little something on what we like to call the moving movie theater, which is my car, which he becomes very annoyed if we take a different car because mine has a little DVR system in it. But Adrian, you're probably not going to be able to listen to it as loud as normal, okay? Because I'm going to do the Facebook Live. So it's going to have to be a little bit quiet. Is that cool?
No.
It's not cool?
No, because I want loud.
You want it loud? Well, it can't be loud, but when I'm done with this, it can be loud, okay?
You should have started the car before you got it.
That's okay.
Drink.
Okay, we'll get you something to drink.
This
This is live. This is live. So I think you think about you and that and tragedy, and you think about how life shifts in an instant and changes in an instant. And one of the things Melanie and I talked about last night was, what's sad and fascinating and interesting and horrible and grounding is the fact that pain is all the same. And pain is all the same. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you don't have a dime to your name. It doesn't matter if you're a famous NBA star. It doesn't matter if you're a school teacher in the middle of America. Pain is all the same. And it's one of the things that allows us to connect to each other and to relate to each other and to see each other. And I think it's really easy. I think it's easy to dismiss people who are not successful. One of the things I've really been trying to do, if you're a highly driven, successful person, and I mean, honestly, there's some fascinating stories about Kobe Bryant around. He wasn't easy to work with. Everybody said he chilled out a lot later in life, but he wasn't easy to work with because he demanded a lot of his teammates and his colleagues, and he called them out on stuff, and he called them out if they weren't working as hard as he did, and that's annoying to people. So, I think it's easy to dismiss people sometimes if you're really driven and they are not. And I think that highly successful, highly driven, highly people with urgency can do that. On the flip side, I also think that it's really easy for people to blame successful people and to look at people who are highly driven and make it about something else. And so, we're a diverse world. But the one thing we all have in common is pain and how we experience that and how we see it. And, my mom said something to me last night, and, my whole family's huge basketball fans. So we're a little more college basketball fans than we are NBA, but still, just in general, we love basketball. And so my mom and my dad and myself and Melanie and my sister, all of us were just so heart heavy yesterday. And I think everybody was. It doesn't matter if you're a basketball fan or not. But one of the things that my mom said to me on a phone call yesterday was, she was going, oh, it's just so sad. I mean, what an amazing athlete he was, and what all of his accomplishments and what he did. And she said, but She said, and she just said it so nonchalantly, and it really has been on my mind all night. She said, but, none of us were born to live forever. And she said it in such a way that it made me think about, and something else, two things. It's funny when you have a weekend and a lot of information comes in and you're figuring out how to sort it out and use it, and obviously the Kobe Bryant thing, and my mom saying that. And then if you haven't watched the Goop Lab on Netflix, I think it's really interesting. We watched the series. It's Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, but she really explores a lot of deep modalities around healing or transformation or consciousness. And so we were watching all of that, and there was a moment in that as well where she was saying something like, it's really about sucking everything you can out of this one precious life. And none of us are going to escape pain. Not a single person watching this, not a single person on this is going to escape pain. We are living a lot, if you're a human and you're living in a world that, where you're doing anything, people often say, if people aren't, only the people who aren't doing something are the people that are having it pretty easy. Because if you don't do anything, there won't be any pain, there won't be any failure. But none of us are going to escape pain. And we are, we kind of do have only this today. We only have today. And I used to have this gorgeous print on my wall. Where is that print that was on my wall? Do you know what I'm talking about? In my office in Merle's Inlet? Is it in storage? This, you only have one day. And I just realized that. Yeah, I think it's in storage. But I used to have this amazing print on my wall that basically said, like, today is all you have. Like, you have this one precious day. What are you going to do with it? And will you use it for good? Will you exchange it for something good? Will you exchange it for something better? And so I know that there's people watching this Facebook Live who may be in a similar pain to what the Bryant family is going through, because maybe you've lost a loved one. Maybe you're on the verge of losing someone that you love. They're going through an illness. I know there's people who are in pain because their relationship is fractured. I know there's people in pain because they are financially struggling and they are afraid, and it is creating them great stress. I know there's people in pain through relationships that are challenging or not mended. And if you pause for a second in whatever pain you are in, if you pause for a second in whatever pain you're experiencing or you are watching even happen, because sometimes it's so painful to watch other people, especially people you love, in pain. The question you would ask yourself is, how can I mend this? What can I do to help heal this? What can I do to help mend this? And sometimes there is nothing you can do to make the situation better. Sometimes there's nothing you can do to change it. But how are you going to show up in it, right? How are you going to show up in it? And I'm sure I'm bastardizing this and not getting it perfectly right, but I think it's Kobe Bryant who said, rest is only for the end. It is not for the middle. And so to have a better life, to release pain, to be healthier, to be happier, you can't rest until the end, right? You really have to think about, who do you need to mend something with? Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to do to take care of yourself? What does all that look like? And obviously I'm a business coach, and so I work in business, and I watch so many businesses fail, so many businesses struggle, so many businesses limp, because the individual running those, the person trying to launch it, is so burdened by pain, is so bogged down by something painful in their life, some relationship that is painful, some past trauma that is painful, and remembering that it is one of the only things that truly connects all of us, that we all experience it, that no one, no matter how successful, no matter how they're unsuccessful, no matter how rich, no matter how poor, no matter what color you are, no matter where you live, everybody is going to experience pain, and everybody is experiencing pain at some time. And the other piece that I feel matters is, I think one of the things for me that when I am maybe it's a world event, maybe it's the loss of someone that means so much to us as people or as a nation. Maybe it's the unraveling of something that you think is certain in your life. You feel like you know somebody, or you feel like you understood something, and it changes, and you lose your center just for a second, and you the world doesn't feel exactly right. I think that for me, one of the things that I try to turn to is to really lift people up in prayer that I've never met, right? Look at what is happening in the world, look at what somebody's experiencing, and for you, whether it's the Bryant family, or it is or it's someone on the other side of the world, or it's it's a place that's experiencing war right now, or it's someone who knows somebody, but you don't know that person who is sick or ill or going through a terrible time. I'm going to ask you to use the last little bit of this Facebook Live, and whatever language you use, whoever you are, however spirit is represented to you, I want to ask that, because I think it's all a ripple effect, right? I think it's all a ripple effect, and when we put it out into the world, it grows and it expands and it touches people. So I'm going to ask that you put in the chat something to lift somebody up, something that maybe you want all of us to lift up or think about in prayer, or send healing thoughts to, or send well wishes to, or send good energy to. So if you know someone who is going through a rough time, if you yourself need thoughts and prayers and good energy and healing space held for you around something, I'm going to ask that you in the chat here just put that down for all of us to see, put it down for everybody to experience and share in. Maybe it's just a small group of people here, but share in that for just a minute or two, people have you, or people are with you in experiencing in supporting somebody else, right? In supporting somebody else. And that's really all we can do, right? When things are hard, when times are hard, when people are hard, when life is hard, when things break, when things fall apart, all we can do is support people, stand with people, but really hold people in our hearts and our minds and our thoughts and our good energy. And I know probably if you're following me, you have similar philosophies to me, that we really can change things through giving energy to other people, through lending good and right and positive energy and love to people who may not be able to have it for themselves right now. So make sure that you know that you are never alone, that no one is ever alone, and when things get a little crazy, when you feel off center, think about how you can help others, how you can lift others up, and how you can hold others in a light that they may not be able to hold themselves right now. So I know for me, and again, it weighing heavy on my heart, there also the Bryant family obviously is going through an incredible loss, but there was also 2 other families involved, and they're not celebrities, so I know they'll get mentioned, but it won't be the story that Kobe Bryant and his daughter are. So just thinking about anyone in pain today, anyone who's losing someone, anyone who is holding on to something that is hard and is a burden and is heavy and is horrifying and is strangling and is scary, lifting anyone up who's feeling that today, reminding them that it's the one thing we all share. Pain is all the same. We all experience it, and knowing that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So I hope you go out and make it a great week. I hope you lift many people up, including yourself. And I hope that when things are hard or times get tough, that you pause and remind yourself that this too shall pass. And then ask yourself, how can I lift somebody else up? I can lift myself up by lifting somebody else up. Have a great day, everybody. Have a very safe day, and I hold every single one of you up today and send you amazing energy, send you great love, send you peace, and send you blessings. Have a great day. Bye.